Thank you! Oh, woo. Thank you! Welcome to Good News Week. And the big news? A study into attacks on the royal family has found that most aren't committed by political activists. They're committed by people who are either deluded or psychotic. And it's important work. If anything happened to the Queen, we'd lose a long weekend. But the deluded and psychotic say they're not to blame. And in fact, the Queen is stalking them. She's watching us through the coins. Each year, hundreds of people send threats and bizarre communications or attempt to attack the Queen. Luckily, God keeps saving her. One of the study's authors described the royal family as a magnet for the insane. And it's true. Camilla often gets Charles to stick her against the fridge. Here's some exciting news from South Australia. After spending 3 years and $250,000, Adelaide University has discovered that feeding lambs different diets gives their meat different flavours. The hard part is convincing the lambs to drink the pineapple juice. Ask your parents. The most effective diets were olive oil and garlic. Less effective diets included tofu and Lego. Feeding them garlic gives the meat a richer taste, and feeding them extra gives them a freshness burst that really love. Lamb. And if you like your lambs really lamby, just feed them their brothers and sisters. The possibilities are endless. How about a chocolate-flavoured breakfast lamb that goes snap, crackle and bar? Here's a clever bloke. In Alice Springs, when police pulled over an unregistered vehicle, they found the driver had put a seatbelt on his slab of beer, but not on the 5-year-old boy sitting next to him. The driver couldn't even remember buying the boy in the first place. But it's an easy mistake to make. Apparently both the beer and the boy were wearing cardboard boxes. The driver tried to convince the officer he was only carrying the slab for safety reasons. He also argued that beer should always take priority over children, because without beer, you'd never have children in the first place. And that's the good news.
It's good news week. Someone dropped the bomb somewhere, contaminating the atmosphere and blackening the sky. It's good news week. Someone found a way to give the rotting dead the will to live, go on and never die. It's good news week. It's good news week.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight, with naked people on one side and a big mouth on the other, the sweet lovin' of Mikey Robbins. From the Matt and Joe Breakfast Show on Fox FM, the lovely Joe Stanley. And from Two Women and a Metro on Mix in Melbourne, the also quite lovely Tom Gleeson. And they're showing no mercy to the freedom fighter Claire Hooper. Star of stage, screen and 2020 summits, the legendary Rhys Muldoon. And one of the Australian stars of the Melbourne Comedy Festival Roadshow, he's a Sagittarius who also enjoys long walks in the park and getting caught in the rain, Dave Thornton. Can't help but notice the outpouring of love for you.
Oh, it was nice, wasn't
It's
it?
rich, it's
Yeah.
great, it's warm.
Yeah.
Why?
I reckon it's just the age group. These are your play school generation.
Is that what That would explain why most of them are in therapy.
I did like it though. Rhys got introduced, everyone got introduced, and I just got basically a running list from Lava Life, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only place your bio was.
Yeah.
Is that in my bio?
Yeah. You're a Sagittarius who love walks in the park.
Sagittarians, loves walks in the parks, has a penchant for amputees, all that stuff's in there.
Off to a good start with Dave. Everyone happy on this side?
Very happy, thank you. Although I've been given cushions to sit on because I'm such a short ass.
Yes, because I'm really tall. I'm deceptively tall. I know I don't look like I am, but I am. I'm huge. I'm massive. No, so I'm in proportion. Look at that. That's a glass. That's a normal sized glass. It looks like a shot glass, doesn't it?
It's actually a bucket.
We're going to kick things off now with What's the Story? Mikey, Joe, Tom, jump to it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's yeah.
I know. Qantas launches their new DIY class.
I know.
No, that's an idiot.
Yes. He's that flying man. I like him.
He's been wanting to do this all his life, this flying guy. And he's got a little jetpack on his back and little wings, and he jumps out of planes and he flies and...
And he goes like really, really fast and really high, doesn't he?
He needs a girlfriend.
But I would have liked to see him at the Birdman rally, running off the end of the pier and then off he goes. Everyone goes, that guy was good. I just wish that he gave me a piggyback because it'd be better than Jetstar. Good on you, Jetstar.
I will not hear a word
Jetstar are rubbish, aren't they, Joe?
Joe was telling us earlier, like, on the flight down, she came down on Jetstar, there's chickens running up and down the aisle, there's like...
We're going to stop it there. They do have it 10 points for them. In Switzerland, a daredevil who calls himself Fusion Man has soared over the Alps at 275 kilometres per hour using a homemade jet-propelled hand glider. He's just trying to impress some bird.
You are devoid of shame.
Trying to impress some bird. Yeah. He's just trying to impress some bird.
No, I thought you were going to say governor at the end of that.
Rossi claims he's getting ever closer to bird flight. Yes, the flight of the jet sparrow. A very rare bird that's made of fiberglass. Each sparrow is able to carry a human and shits flames.
That's not a real bird. The jets...
Mikey, that's not a real sentence.
No. The jet sparrow it's not a real bird.
Were you worried there were bird watchers at home going, oh, where is it?
Oh, hello, Channel 10. Well, I'd like to put up... That's not a real bird, you know.
I haven't ticked that one off yet.
What sort of bird watcher would be at home watching television? What sort of bird watcher worth their salt? Not in some sad hutch.
You know what? I hate bird watchers.
Now that's a bird.
My dad calls his farts jet sparrows.
Is he always releasing them back into the wild?
Claire, Rhys, Dave, the truth is out there.
Oh,
Right, here we go. Oh.
okay.
Yes, newspaper.
Something in a newspaper.
Some bloke's head. Right, yeah, bad faxing.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. Ooh,
All
okay.
right.
Spooky,
X-Files.
Witches of Eastwicky kind of vibe with a picture of a saucer.
There we go.
Saucer.
That's from
Nice.
Play
Blue
School.
lights, red lights.
Is that what it is? Did I draw that?
It's quite
That was
nice.
obviously supposed to be a caterpillar, and I don't know. It's just, so obviously it's something to do with UFOs.
I reckon it's about the UK releasing classified documents of people's testaments about seeing UFOs, people's sketches of UFOs.
Well, one of the most, what would you call it, well-documented UFO cases is probably this one they're talking about, which was over a military installation. And so it was all military generals and people like that who went, that's a freaking UFO.
I just like the idea of all those generals going, it's a UFO. I've always loved you, Gary.
I also love the idea of the general, you know, there's three of them and two of them have gone, did you see that? And one of them's going, nope.
And neither did you.
They have it, 10 points. In the UK, the Ministry of Defence has finally released top-secret files on UFO sightings between 1978 and 1987. The files include reports from police officers about moving objects with flashing lights, although many of these turned out to be police cars.
Or jet sparrows.
Jet sparrow. It's a great animation, isn't it? That would be a great... What a hero, Jet Sparrow. Faster than the other sparrows.
Lives in his secret cave in Claire's father's arse. Mr. Hooper, there's been a crime committed. It's a job for Jet Sparrow. Go, Jetty!
You know what's great? My dad's on holiday and he won't be seeing
No,
this.
he won't be seeing it.
It's so great.
In one case, back to the alien story,
All right.
in one case, a 78-year-old man claims aliens took him on board their ship, quizzed him about his age and then said, "You can go. You're too old and infirm for our purpose." Apparently they were moving and needed someone to help with the pianola.
Do you know, I saw an alien abduction documentary recently and I was so frightened and I didn't even mean to watch it, and then it came on and like 5 minutes in I couldn't even reach forward to get the remote. I was so scared.
Well, because it had, like, buttons and stuff.
Yes! Well, exactly. But no, the upshot is I spent a week of being so terrified to go to the loo in the middle of the night that I got a urinary tract infection. And that's how afraid I am.
Do you think the aliens are coming up the toilet after you?
No, but apparently right before you get abducted you see a blue light and there's a street light outside our bathroom and
I don't know. I don't.
You're a freaking hillbilly.
I know. I was going to say
Which is why they would take you. Because they only ever take hillbillies.
But I can just see
Can we stop?
I think that's why your dad must flatulate so much, just in case he gets probed. You know? I don't want to look like an idiot if they turn up. I'm cleaning out that.
They're looking in his ass. What can you see? I don't know. A bunch of jet sparrows. I don't. You know.
Let's just forget the jet sparrow. Let's forget the UTIs and the UFOs. And just let's all try and focus on the 4.5 hours of comedy ahead of us. But the most exciting revelation...
Paul,
Oh.
sorry. Jet sparrow.
Hell. Experts say most sightings are nothing more than meteorological phenomena. For example, in one incident, a strange bright circle that was spotted over central London turned out to be a gap in the clouds with the sun poking. So after one little green round of Good News Week, the Robins team are on 10 points, the Hoopers team on 10 points.
It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
During the break, as we enjoyed a gentle probing, both teams were given 3 clues to a recent strange but true story. Robins, Stanley and Gleeson have educational hats.
See, Mum, I told you I'd get one day.
It instantly makes us smarter, doesn't it?
Yes.
Except when you wear it, like, or, you know, when you've got this...
Where's your tassel meant to be? Yeah.
Yes.
We also have handcuffs.
Yes.
Handcuffs.
Joe, you know how you said, like, you put on the hat and it makes you look brand new? That you're starting to look more and more strippergram as you...
You're pretty handy with those.
You know it, Mikey.
Have you checked to see if we have keys for those? They've been kicking around the old props box for quite some time.
They don't.
I don't know if they do. They don't, yeah. I didn't see keys with them. Not funny. Well, don't worry, we've got a chainsaw. Hey!
Quick, get Jet Sparrow.
I'll try to unpick it using my very sturdy lead pencil. Oh, it snapped. Oh, what a shame. Oh.
Well, that's hilarious. That's great.
That's
There you go.
I don't know, it works for me though, Joe. And finally...
Yeah. Come on, bitches.
I don't know why rappers... I don't know why they hold mics like this. I don't know why, but if, you know, if I was a hip-hop dude, I'd still do this at the supermarket, at my day job. Price check on the baked beans, price check. Price check on the baked beans, bitches. Price check.
Have you heard the term wigger?
Wigger?
Wigger, which is what they use in the hood, for white people who think they're black, like Justin Timberlake and Eminem. They call them wiggers, which is, of course, white.
Well, I know.
You know.
Well, you know.
Except you're more of a jigger.
Oh, jigger.
Ginger and...
I've enjoyed all that, but it was still funny trying to watch you be sensible with handcuffs on. And Hooper, Muldoon and Thornton got a helmet.
You can say anything you like about me now. I can't hear anything.
Gravel rash.
Look, I know that that's supposed to be gravel.
Yeah.
Kinda looks a bit vomity.
Why don't you pull one of those bits of corn out and see if it is gravel?
Yes, just pop that there. See, there's a. Is that?
And finally,
if we will, Master. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Give me that mic, represent.
When I find myself in times of trouble, bitches, Mother Mary comes to me too. Yeah! Put your hands in the air!
I mean, seriously, you are whiter than Kimber.
I can't believe I'm actually praying for the return of Jet Sparrow. More of all that a bit later on to start round 2, a game called Warren. 3 headlines about the same newsmaker, but their name has been diabolically concealed by the name... Warren! Joe, for you. Warren?
Look, I'm finding it really difficult.
You are!
Warren reassures Palestinians on accord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Warren keeps up push for a lasting peace. Warren's bosom buddy gives sagging Clinton a lift. Who is that Warren?
Warren's bosom buddy gives sagging Clinton a lift. I want to say Monica Lewinsky, but it's a different Clinton, isn't it?
It's a different...
Is it?
Yes.
And a different kind of lift. I think Bush, actually.
Sorry? What are we talking about now?
I think...
Da-da-da-da. Yes, I can do it as well. All right.
I think it's Bush.
OK, let's have a look. Yes, there we go. 15 points, ladies and gentlemen. It is George W. Bush. As his time in the White House draws to a close, the president has revealed, out of respect for the families of US soldiers killed in Iraq, he stopped playing golf. I think he might have earned more respect if he stopped playing president. The president says he quit the game as a gesture of solidarity with the troops, and I'm sure the troops appreciate it in much the same way Africans appreciate rich Western kids with bulimia. Ready to face Warren, Mr. Muldoon?
Yes.
Here we go then.
Okay.
You have family focus could cost Warren the inner city.
Yes.
Gippsland, a tall order, Warren.
Okay.
Warren blasts Howard record.
Okay.
Who is Warren?
Okay, so family focus could cost the inner city. It's obviously talking about politics. Gippsland, a tall order, which makes me kind of think maybe it's state politics, but we'll see.
I'm sorry, I can't take you serious talking about politics, and then there's just vomit right here.
Gravel. Gravel.
Gravel.
Gravel.
Gravel.
Yeah, Mum's here.
Well, look at...
Jeez, if I had a dollar for every time I've seen that.
and then a bit of, I love you, Mikey.
Who is that Warren?
Yeah, okay, who that Warren is. Okay, so Warren blasts Howard record. Obviously, well, can you just... You can't really say Labor.
Very close.
You could. So, well, let's just go the leader of said Labor Party, Kevin Rudd.
Let's see if he's right. Phenomenal.
Cool.
It's Kevin Rudd in the most exciting news to come out of Canberra in months. Wouldn't be hard. Our fearless leader has hired a stylist. And the stylist looks incredibly like him. That's strange. Who says you can't polish a nerd? The Prime Minister's clothes are vitally important. For instance, unlike his style of leadership, his trousers should never be seen as open and welcoming. Robbins is now 25 points, Hooper's 25 points. After the break, Magazine Mastermind.
It's Good News Week.
Good evening and welcome to Magazine Mastermind. Earlier tonight, one player from each team was given a magazine to study and memorise. They now have to beat the clock and answer as many questions as they can about that publication. Our first contestant is Tom Gleeson. Your special subject in Magazine Mastermind tonight is Volume 14, Number 1 of Counter-Terrorism. Your time begins now.
Okay.
At its root, what is terrorism?
A way of causing fear?
Yes.
Come on!
To do what?
To cause
A strategic use of fear to shape or change
to shape or change the political landscape.
the behaviour.
This is like a really bad ventriloquist routine, isn't it? Normally the doll is smaller than the host, though.
The strategic use of fear to shape or change the behaviour of a perceived enemy. Just try a bit harder.
Okay.
Name 3 places in the world where the terror situation has deteriorated.
Kenya,
Yes.
a part of Spain, the part with the
Yes.
naughty people.
Yes. Basque country.
Basque country
Yes.
and Bangladesh, maybe. No,
Not here, no.
maybe another one. Maybe.
Actually, let's make it 2 places.
Oh. Okay. Yes.
According to one imprisoned terrorist, what is jihad?
Jihad is, I don't know, a way of getting your own way.
Could be one interpretation. Jihad is an art, like poetry, music, and the fine arts.
Oh yeah. Very artistic.
Whoops. Bang.
Yeah. I ran that plane into that building as an installation.
So far, you've got everything right.
Okay.
So I might take those first 2 away from you.
All right. Kazakhstan. That's another one. From the one you took me away from. So can I have that point back, please? Kazakhstan.
Al Hara is a TV network set up by the US as a rival to Al Jazeera. Unfortunately, its top executives don't speak Arabic. What did this lead to?
This is pretty good. This led to over 68 minutes of footage of someone from Hezbollah doing a call to arms against Israel on air.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen, he's got it. And phenomenally, at the end of your round, on counter-terrorism, you scored an unbelievable 20 points.
Do I get a prize? Do I get a prize?
No, sadly, you missed out on the 200-point bonus question. What's the last word in counter-terrorism? And the answer, boom. So, Tom Gleeson, many thanks. That was great. Our second contestant is Dave Thornton. Your special subject in Magazine Mastermind tonight is Volume 16, Number 2 of Hamburger.
I just can't believe he got counter-terrorism. They must have just looked at me and gone, oh, we'll just give him something light.
You look quite small in that chair. Your time
I'm never going to
starts-
be on this again.
Your time starts about 10 minutes ago. Your time starts now.
Why get short with me?
Why is hamburger one of the handiest ingredients to have around?
It's good. It's versatile. It's meaty. It's Marbo. It's the vibe. It's in Kazakhstan. I was Tom. It's
Inexpensive, versatile, and tends to be liked among even the pickiest eaters.
and it's thin and the pickiest eaters.
You have it. With more than 70 recipes in the magazine, what should you break out of?
Oh, you break out of you don't want to cook it. You want to break the mould, start wearing it. I didn't read the magazine. Does that work?
Nothing? Your hamburger rut. Would this...
Oh, you don't want to be in a hamburger rut. You got to break out. You know what I mean? You can't. Don't just stick with what you know. Break out, kids. You know, like yeah.
He has it. Okay.
How are we going?
It's freaking me out with you touching me like that. I think it's going well.
Yeah.
What sort of oven do you need to make all the freezer-head meals?
Oh, yeah, preheated one. A good one. What sort of oven? I actually don't know this one.
Oh, that's
I
all
can be
right,
honest
that's all
with
right. It's the 6 to 8 quart Dutch oven. It does exist, ladies and gentlemen. That's a frightening thing.
I actually, and this is honestly, my mother's actually Dutch, and that means I'm actually certified. Like I have the lineage to give Dutch ovens. I remember saying that on stage at a stand-up gig, and Mum was just insulted. She just goes, "Don't ever mention that again." Afterwards, I was just like, "Just get under the sheets and enjoy it."
That last one made my eyes water for some reason. If you're bored with traditional round meatballs, what does Hamburger Magazine say?
You just cut them up into little squares.
He has it. And at the end of your round on hamburger, you scored 16 points. Unfortunately, you also missed out on the 200-point bonus question. What's the best way to prepare your buns for the meat? And the answer, simply spread them with a good dollop of butter and try to relax. So Dave Thornton, many thanks.
Thank you.
To my right, 45 points. To my left, 41 points. Coming up, a brand new game.
It's Good News Week.
And now a new game called Animal Magnetism. Mikey, for you,
Yeah.
we have otters,
Do you?
Look at that.
a dog and a cat,
They've had sex.
and a bear. Now, according to my newspapers, each of those creatures is linked to one of these.
Yeah.
A power station,
Yeah.
Oh.
a prison,
Oh.
and English comedian Bill Bailey. Okay, all you have to do is tell us which goes with which and why.
Okay, I know the bear story. There's a prison in the States, and in between, this is just, they're freaks! But in between the two lines of caging, they're actually going to stop the prisoners getting out, guard dogs and guns aren't enough. They're going to put bears.
Oh, really?
Seriously.
My understanding, the kind of bears that go to prison, you wouldn't mess with them.
No.
That kind of bear.
They're always at your honey pot. The dog and the cat and the power station go together because there's a story recently from Eastern Europe. Apparently a dog chased a cat into a power station and it somehow caused an accident and the power station shut down. Which only leaves the fact that Bill Butley shags otters.
Well, it does look like he's kind of got an otter on his face.
I'm going to stop them there before it gets too freaky. Let's have a look. Oh, they are right. As part of a British TV show called Wild Thing I Love You, Bill Bailey built a bridge for a family of otters. A 72-hour blackout in Albania was caused by a dog chasing a cat into high-voltage cables in the capital's main power station. And yes, the Louisiana State Penitentiary has a whole new level of security, a 180-kilogram bear inside the fence. The prison is about 73 square kilometres in size, and 14 of that is woods. To make things worse, before you even get to the bear, there's a moat full of honey. The worry is when he gets out, the bear will not only be angry, he'll be able to hotwire a car. They'd trim his claws, but this is America, and he has the right to bear arms. Claire, some animal magnetism for you. We have a kangaroo.
Oh, with a baby.
Dogs. And a goat.
Oh, look at the cheeky little fella he's presenting, isn't he?
God, that reminds me of the first time I met you, Paul.
I thought I had a centre parting. Somehow all those animals go with beer, pink underwear, and peanut butter.
Oh. What doesn't?
What's it about?
Well, a kangaroo escaped from, I think it was a German zoo, and they actually they caught the kangaroo by using peanut butter sandwiches as bait. I find that really adorable because they probably tried Vegemite first, and the kangaroo went, "That's just a joke." Now, I don't know if this is a sound connection, but I recently saw a picture of a goat wearing pink underwear. the websites I go to. No, it's... But in the picture, it's really cute. The goat's actually presenting much like that, and the knickers have fallen down around its ankles, so it's like this with pink hair. And I'm pretty sure that it was from some sort of gay festival where they have an event called Dressing the Goat, where they chase goats and try and put clothes on them. That leaves the dogs and the beer, and I don't know why they're connected.
I'm going to help you out on this one. They've just released a new beer for dogs, DB, Dogs Beer. Seriously, it's a non-alcoholic beer for dogs.
Non-alcoholic?
Well, there's no fun in it. Not like getting your cat stoned.
They have it, everyone's got it! After realising her pets enjoyed a drop of the amber fluid, a Sydney woman has created a beer for dogs. A kangaroo that escaped from a German wildlife park was recaptured after being lured into a trap containing his favourite peanut butter sandwiches. And the highlight of Philadelphia's first gay rodeo recently was an event called goat dressing, where cowboys try to dress an uncooperative goat in hot pink underwear. We have the same picture you have on the internet. Have a look. That's the...
Oh, bless him.
That is the cutest thing, and I'm just a little bit aroused.
The goat's actually kind of looking shameful. Like, oh, can't believe I've gotten caught like this.
I was so drunk.
People earlier reported seeing a pair of boxers on the goat, but Jeff Fennick and Mike Tyson deny even being there. There was even an event called the Bum Steer, where contestants have to guide a young cow using only their buttocks. There were demonstrations of both whip cracking and crack whipping. And let's not forget the bull milking competition. That lot now on 60 points, that lot 56 points. After the break, strange but true.
It's the news week.
This is the battleground called Strange But True. Mikey, Joe, Tom, your clues were the hats, the handcuffs,
It's still on.
and this.
Yeah, come on. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own, and you better never let it go. You got one shot to miss your chance to blow. The opportunity comes one in a lifetime. Yo, yeah, come on, come on. Oh yeah, come on, bitch.
You know they say how. You know how they say
Yeah.
M&M's.
What?
You know how they say M&M's are genius.
Yes.
You're so not.
I'm not. That's all right. Well, I'm just having to work with his words. If I did some of my own tasty words. All right. Yeah, yo, cat on the hat. He's on a mat. His name is Pat. Oh God, he just did a shat in a hat. I don't know.
The thing I like about that is that song is actually about seizing the moment and not stuffing it up, and I did twice.
Do we have a story?
Well, obviously, I mean, these mortarboards would represent a student.
Or education.
A university education. All I can think of is that Eminem's got an honorary doctorate in bondage.
Is that not the story?
Hey, hang on. I got an idea. When you say M&M's...
Yes.
M&M's. Okay, lollies,
Oh,
Yes.
candy.
candies. Someone's done something with some M&M's.
Well, I reckon maybe the handcuffs are to do with prison, and Glenn Wheatley's got out of prison. He's been out for a while. He's been at home detention, and he has since been educated about paying his taxes. But he's living in his Toorak mansion, and he's been demanding only brown M&Ms.
Okay.
Right. Someone's been arrested, I'm assuming a student, for doing something with M&M's. Who knows what? Probably...
What on earth could you be doing that's illegal with M&M's?
I'm sticking up the pooper.
That's illegal?
It's in my house.
I'm going to give you 7 points.
Okay.
Because you got some of it right, but
I'll
not
take
all
that.
of it. In Iowa, a college student whose friend was being questioned by police has himself been charged with assaulting an officer with M&M's. Clearly not a smartie. Who can let such terrible weapons fall into the hands of the young? The Candyman can. As Sean Maguire's mate was talking to the cops, one officer was hit in the shoulder by an M&M. He survived, but experts say if the impact had been just 3 centimetres to the right and the M&M had been made out of metal and shot from a gun, he might not have been so lucky. The charges include sharing with intent to wound or endanger and malicious yet delicious bodily harm.
You're so cute sometimes.
Claire, Rhys, Dave, you had the helmet, the gravel rash, the vomit stuff, but it's meant to be gravel rash.
I think it looks like I've been using Proactive for 8 years.
And this.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary talks to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There will be an answer. Yeah. Let it be. Let it be, bitches. Let it be. Oh, yeah. Let it be, bitches.
Wait, it's not a remix.
No, I was doing a Kanye West one. You know where he just sings on top of an existing song?
Have we got an answer?
Right, okay. Maybe it was like
Motor accident.
Heather Mills You know, she'd be, you know, oh, I love Paul McCartney. I love it. Crash, gravel rash, right? She's lying on there. Oh my God, legs come off. There's blood everywhere. Gravel rash all over her. Little kid goes running over to help her, and her mother goes, "Let it be."
I like it.
You can't beat that.
Rhys, you don't you ride?
Yes,
Haven't
yes.
you had loads of accidents?
Yes, I have. That's true.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of motorbike accidents.
It's not funny.
No.
Have you ever seen anything in your gravel rush? That's what I want to ask you. Yeah. Have you ever seen any images of religious deities? Well, because that's what this...
No. Okay, so tell me more.
Well, a gentleman recently came off his bike in the States, and he posted a photo of the big gory kneecap injury on the internet, and somebody emailed him and went, "Oh, dude, you have the Mother Mary on your kneecap," and he was like, "Oh my God, like I have an image of the Virgin Mary on my kneecap."
Wow.
It's
He
true.
fell off his motorbike, got a graze.
What
the Virgin
didn't
Mary.
you understand about what I was saying?
I'm just...
Claire, slap him. Slap
Yeah, and
him.
you're almost in striking. Hit with the vomit gravel. Again. They in fact have it right, ladies and gentlemen, as bizarre as it sounds. After a motorcycle accident in California, a man claims an image of the Virgin Mary appeared in a graze on his leg.
Oh, that is foul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not only that,
Great.
but she was weeping tears of blood and suffering from what looked like massive head trauma. As a result of the injury, Mark's leg has now become a shrine, and thousands of devout Catholics are constantly pestering him to drop his pants. Up next, the last ditch, dirty, sexy, fast money.
It's good news week.
This is it, boys and girls. Dirty, sexy, fast money. Here we go. In New York,
Yes.
a barista at Starbucks claims he did what to Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen's coffee?
Urinated in it.
No.
Oh, I know. Use full cream milk.
Use full cream milk.
Oh, that's weird. He was asking us the question. That was strange. And I had the answer. I haven't said it.
That's true.
That was weird.
I like the desperation.
Yeah, that was weird.
2 points. Good on you, Tom. How is this Swiss?
Oh, I know!
No.
Hang on! Oh, hang on!
How is the Swiss town of Alton keeping alcoholics out of the town centre?
Jet sparrows flying in and out.
Yes, you knew he'd come back.
Anybody?
It's removed all the benches.
No.
No,
Anybody?
what was the name of the town again?
Alton.
Not
Oh,
going there.
Are they playing classical music?
No.
Removing all the alcohol. No.
No. They're bribing them with cheap beer.
Okay, go
Get
into
out,
Alton.
No points. In Auckland, when
Yes.
a bloke started eating lollies in a shop and couldn't afford to pay for them, what did he offer in trade?
He offered pot. A little small tin of pot. The guy behind him was a cop.
That's actually... Sorry, that's actually incorrect. He actually offered some pot bro.
No extra points, sadly. In Cornwall, why has Britain's only lifeguard dog been sacked?
For being asleep when somebody drowned. No.
No, I know.
Yes.
No, they're not allowed to have dogs on the beach. That's why, isn't it?
That's
I read
part of
this.
it. They're banned from the beach, but also because
Because...
He's a bastard of a dog.
he can't do. He
can't
swim!
He can't do resuscitation.
Well, that's obvious, Paul.
You know what? He has actually rescued 3 people.
Okay.
Saved 3 people's lives.
Scratched the shit out of them, but they're alive. Yeah.
So he resuscitated them by humping their leg.
And he only saved them because they're in the shape of a bone.
Who would have thought that the highlight of today's show would have been the Jet Sparrow? So, in the kerfuffle tonight, Mikey Robbins, Joe Stanley and Tom Gleeson scored a high-powered 73 points. Overtaking Claire Hooper, Rhys Muldoon and Dave Thornton on 72 points. Oh, close. If you watch the bottom of my screen, you'll see our web address, 10.com.au/GNW. You can take a look behind the scenes, book tickets to be in our audience, and play our new interactive game where you try to put underwear on a goat. So we say, go home, Hillary, you're done. Big Mouth is next with Tony and Rebecca, and we leave you with the good news for the week ahead. On Mabo Day, thousands of Australians will celebrate with a picnic, and while they're out, a bunch of mining companies will change the locks on their houses. No Idol auditions this week, and I was hoping he was going to do Hot in the City. Prince's 50th birthday falls a couple of days before we celebrate the Queen's birthday. Coincidence? Yes. And on Friday, John Howard and Elle Macpherson will be at a business convention in the UK. The theme is obsolete tits.